Good morning, all of you. Hello, everyone. This is Dr. Sudarshan Sambhajirao Pedge, Assistant Professor, Department of Zoology, Kailasasarasika Mahavidyalaya, your zoology companion, and welcome to my lecture. In the last lecture, we also studied there are various types of characterization of population, characteristics of population. In the characteristics of population, there are 4 to 5 uh, population characteristics we also completed. That is the natality, mortality, population dispersal, as well as the population density. Okay, there are 4 characteristics we also studied. Now today we will start about next characteristics of population, that is the age distribution. What is meant by the age distribution in the population? We know very well any type of population is formed of individual in different age groups, right? The individuals in a population can be classified into 3 groups according to their ages. Okay, it means the population, it will be formed in a different age group, and that different age group, it will be the classified into the 3 ages. Okay, first age is the pre-reproductive group, second the reproductive group, and third is the post reproductive group. Okay, so we have seen one by one. So first is the pre-reproductive group. In that pre-reproductive group, it includes immature animals. It means the does not mature or does not sexually mature animals. It is included in the pre-reproductive group. So we call it as pre-reproductive group. As well as second is the reproductive group. In the reproductive group, the animals is fully sexually mature. Okay, animals is the sexually matured. That animals is called as a reproductive group, that animals is included in the reproductive group. Okay, as well as in the last third is the post reproductive group. In that group, old animals where the reproductive ability has been stopped. Which animals it will be included in the post reproductive group? Old animals. Why? Because the reproductive ability has been stopped. Okay, that is the one particular age distribution of population. Okay, first is the pre-reproductive group, second is the reproductive group, and third one is the post-reproductive group. Okay, so if you seen in the birth rate and growth of population are written by the age group of the population. When a population is formed predominantly of a pre-reproductive age group, it is in a state of growth. Okay, in a growing population, the birth rate is high. When a population is formed predominantly of post reproductive age group, it is said to be declining. Okay, if you compare pre-reproductive and pre as well as reproductive group to the post reproductive group, population it will be growing in condition. Okay, in the population it will be increases, but in the post reproductive group, the population it will be the declining in position. Why? Because the reproductive ability is stopped, as well as the deaths it will be occurred in the old animals as well as the old ages. Okay, that's why the declining of population. And in the pre-reproductive and reproductive group, it will be the growing in condition. That's why the population it will be the increases, right? That is the one particular increasing and declining of the population. Okay, when a population contains predominantly pre-reproductive and reproductive age group, it is said to be the stable condition. We know very well that is the population. If you compare the uh, population growth at the time of pre-reproductive as well as reproductive group, that is a stable in condition, not in the lower as well as the higher. Is a one particular stable condition we have seen in the population. Okay, so this is the age distribution. Okay, after that, next population characteristics is the population growth form. Okay, in the population growth form there are various types of population growth form. Generally we have seen in our syllabus there are two growth form, that is the S shape and as well as J shape growth form. In that, the population growth form, the increase in size of population is called as population growth. We know very well. Okay, size increases, size of population, increase in size of population is called population growth, right? A population grows when the birth rate is high and the death rate is low. Okay, at the time of birth rate it will be the high, that time the population is growth, as well as the death rate is the low, that time the population it will be the increases. Okay, it is also added by immigration. Okay, that is the migration of animals into the population from another similar population. Okay, that is the immigration. Okay, when the increase in the number of animals is plotted against the time. Okay, so time factor, that form is called as a growth form. Okay, the pattern of growth form is different, or pattern of growth curve is different from a different population. Mainly two patterns of growth forms or growth curves are significant. That is called, the first is the S-shaped growth forms or sigmoid growth form, as well as the second one is the J-shaped growth form. Okay, first is the S-shaped growth form. Uh, You have seen, you have see here, that is the when a few organisms are introduced in an unoccupied area, the population grows gradually. Okay, in the beginning, the growth is slow, and this stage of growth is called as a positive acceleration phase. You have seen in that uh, diagram or graph. In that curve, you have seen here the positive acceleration phase. Okay, that uh, curve indicate that the beginning the growth is slow, and this stage of growth is called the positive acceleration phase. Okay, then the growth is rapid and the population increases steeply. This stage of growth is called as logarithmic phase. Okay, after that, after reaching the maximum size, the growth rate slows down due to the environmental resistance. This stage is called as a negative acceleration phase. Okay, you have seen in that uh, figure, in that figure you have seen the negative acceleration phase. That phase you have seen here, the the growth rate slows down due to the environmental resistance. Okay, after this the population reaches one particular equilibrium level or equilibrium position, in which there is a neither increase or nor decreases. Okay, this pattern of growth curve or this pattern of growth form is exhibited by the yeast and bacteria grown in the laboratory. Next is the J-shaped growth curve. You have seen here, in certain population the growth is very rapid and the number of organisms increase in compound interest fashion. Okay, and then the growth stops abruptly and the population declines suddenly. Okay, you have seen here the one particular uh, population growth, it will be grow rapidly and stop at the one particular position and suddenly decline in the uh, population. Okay, it is one particular, the decline is caused due to the environmental factors. Okay, this is type of growth pattern of J-shaped curve, and it is exhibited by the lemmings, certain insects like in algal blooms, okay, etc. These are the example of, we know very well, such type of insects is completely degenerated as well as the declining in the population. Okay, on that shape or that form, it is a J-shaped form. Okay, so this is it for today. Thank you very much.